Good morning, gratitude babes. Welcome back to Come Sit in Gratitude with me. We're going to sit down for day 65 of our daily Gratitude is Yummy journaling. So let's just jump into it and get started. All right, so my three gratitudes today. This morning, I woke up feeling and thinking about something that I don't think we celebrate enough. And I am so grateful for this practice because it's allowing me to look at things so differently. And that's resourcefulness. Like, yes, I want the big manifestation of never having to work again and having enough money that I don't have to worry about going back to work. But I don't have to do traditional work anymore, right? But sometimes your manifestations, they don't arrive looking like the finished dream. Sometimes it arrives looking like the next right step. And, having this opportunity to be able to Uber as an option for income on my own terms is amazing, right? So I am choosing to celebrate that because it is a blessing, it is an opportunity, and I'm just excited that I have this opportunity, this connection, this solution, the door that's opening possibly to exactly what I need. So I'm not questioning it, I'm just allowing it. And, because if we're so focused on waiting for the end result, we can completely miss the miracle that's already unfolding for us in the present moment. And I don't believe that every blessing has to look like super glamorous, but sometimes abundance does look more like a rental car. And that's my first gratitude because it's going to allow me to create income. Sometimes it looks like a friend checking in on you when you need it because that's what happened this morning, first thing. Sometimes it looks like having uninterrupted time to build the life that I'm creating. Okay, so I am choosing to see these blessings as manifestations too, as little doors, as little opportunities, as little steps toward the big manifestation. So that's what we're doing. Instead of waiting for the finish line, because I feel like that's what I've been doing. I've been waiting for the finish line, but this practice is really grounding me and saying, hey, we're supposed to be celebrating every piece of evidence that this life is supporting me along the way to my big thing. So what are you doing, Jules? And that's really why I came back to sharing the practice, because it's like, yeah, what are you doing? You're supposed to be celebrating. Like, why aren't you celebrating all these pieces of blessings that have been coming your way? So that's what we're doing. We're doing that today. Instead of worrying about it, we're going to do that today. Okay, so let's jump into my three gratitudes. The first one today is I'm so grateful for the money and the opportunity to rent a Tesla. Yes, it's glamorous for Uber because it gives me a way to provide for myself and my kids. Now, do I have to rent a Tesla? No, but I was looking at the rates with different even the compact car options were like $280 a week, and the Tesla was only $299. So in my mind, I'm like, why would I not go for the Tesla if it's only a little bit more? And at first I'm worrying about, oh my God, this is last resort. I have to shell out $400 every week of my earnings, which is a lot of money. That's like close to my rent. So I'm basically paying like a freaking mortgage at this point. And you know what? That is scary. It is really scary, but I'm choosing to see this as an amazing opportunity to provide, an amazing opportunity to generate income in the immediate moment. And that's a blessing. The fact that I even have this option, that I'm able to do this, that is a huge blessing. And I'm not going to not celebrate it, because there's something really empowering about having a solution. Instead of focusing on what I don't have, I'm focusing on what I do have. And it actually feels so great. Like I said, at first I was so worried, and I've been procrastinating doing this because I'm just like, this is not going to make financial sense. A lot of my earnings are going to go towards the rental. But now it's just like, no, this is a solution. This is a blessing that is even an option. And the fact that you get to drive a freaking Tesla is incredible. So I am just grateful that I have the ability to create income while I build my business and not have to have that pressure of my business having to take off right away for survival, right? I want to get out of that survival mode when it comes to my business. And I want to get out of I wanted to get out of the survival mode when I was working, because that wasn't on my terms. I was being overworked, paid the same way. If I can make the same money driving Uber and it's on my terms, I get to choose my hours, I get to do it around my business. Why would I not? So I'm really, really grateful. I'm just so grateful, right? Because every time you choose gratitude for what's already happening, what's already available to me, every time I do that, I do create space for even greater abundance to flow in. So this feels like such a natural and beautiful next step. And I'm really, really excited. So yay! Yeah, that's my first gratitude. My second gratitude is I am so grateful for my friend Kay. She called to check in on me because it made me feel so loved, and it made me feel supported, and it made me feel cared for. Sometimes the greatest wealth isn't the money coming in, it's knowing that someone thought of you. It's receiving a phone call just because someone wanted to make sure you were okay. And those little moments remind me that I'm never doing life alone. I'm surrounded by people who genuinely care about me, about my kids, and that is such a beautiful blessing. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. My third gratitude is I am so grateful that my kids are with their dad for the next 2 weeks. He gets them 2 weeks in the summer, so they're gone for 2 weeks, because it gives me uninterrupted time to really hustle and focus on creating income. Of course, I'm gonna miss them like crazy, but instead of focusing on them not being home or them being gone, I'm choosing to focus on the gift that this gives me so much time, right? I'm focusing on the gift this time is going to be bringing me. It's an opportunity to work hard for my family, to build momentum again, to create financial stability again, to invest in the future that my kids and I are creating together. Sometimes the universe gives us exactly the time we need before the next season begins. So I am really, really excited, and I'm choosing to use this time wisely, this season wisely. So I am super, 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 super excited. Now we're going to use this beautiful, yummy gratitude energy we just activated, and I'm going to script my manifestation, and I am going to do a rampage. Rampaging has been the the most beautiful thing for me lately, and it feels so good when I'm rampaging. So I am just going to rampage today. So let's do that now. All right, moving on to our to feel activation for the day. Today, I'm going to choose to feel supported. Today, I feel supported. Yes, I'm choosing to feel supported today because it's amazing all the thoughts that have gone through my mind over the last month. And it was because I wasn't paying attention to all the support that's been surrounding me. And so I am intentionally choosing to feel really, really, really supported today, supported by God, supported by my friends, the universe, by opportunities, by abundance. I don't have to carry everything alone. And there was a point where I literally said, and it was in my mind. So I thought, oh my God, I feel like my spirit guides have abandoned me. And in that moment, I just felt so hopeless. But now I am choosing to see all the ways that they are supporting me, all the ways that the universe and God truly supporting me. So I am allowing myself to receive the support that's already surrounding me, because the more I feel supported, the more supported I do become. And so, yeah, that is my to feel activation for today. Now for our to-do lists. I need to move some things around in the house. And then, of course, I will be driving for Uber today. I need to pick up my rental. Oh my God, I'm actually really excited. I pick it up at 1 o'clock. So that gives me time to edit this video, which is going to go in the professional. We're going to edit, we're going to schedule it. And then I have to keep working on the next podcast episode, which is all about desire. I'm so excited. I started it last night, so I'm going to continue adding to it today. So I'm outlining that right now because I'm piggybacking off of the last few episodes where we've been talking all about being honest about money and claiming wealth and being unapologetic about it, and why money deserves a seat at the spiritual table. Yes, so we're gonna dive deeper into desire, and I touched on it on the last episode, but I'm gonna dive deeper into it because it's such a huge thing, and there's so much misconception around desire. So we're gonna get all into it on Sunday's episode. So stay tuned for that. And I am gonna continue to saturate my mind with my to feel activation for the day, and that is really it. So I'm gonna go through the morning checklist, and that is our practice for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Ciao. Hopefully we have no issues with the recording.